Well, much has been said, and maybe too much has been made of the reported war between new media and what we call the traditional media. Some would call it the mainstream media, legacy media, and others would simply call them dinosaurs. We have heard both sides of the argument that mainstream media has failed miserably, that MSM is driven by profits and ratings and popularity contests, and shallow people in beauty contests that masquerade as newscasts. Or that new media is uncontrollable, undisciplined, frivolous, and unreliable. The battle has been joined, the lines have been drawn, and the fight is on. Yet, amid the smoke and the haze, while we dodge dangerous projectiles composed of USB HDPA dongles and heavy-duty makeup kits, we must pause to ask ourselves, we know who we fight, yet do we know why we must? Traditional media is in agony. In the United States, established newspapers have closed shop with alarming frequency. The Rocky Mountain News and the San Francisco Chronicle have called it quits after 150 years of delivering the news to doorsteps. The venerable New York Times is about to undergo a second round of layoffs. Last year, some 4,000 American media workers lost their jobs because of the shift by advertisers and readers to the internet. The impact has not been felt in the Philippines, but we can assume that it will be soon. But traditional media agony is not reason for new media to celebrate. For as Jester, one of the colleagues, has pointed out to us before, while new media has been critical of old media, new media is still reliant on old media to provide the facts. In the end, we still need both on the ground, or eyes on the target, for anyone to make sense of the world we live in. Clearly, in the age of the internet, media, both new and old, must learn to live, not fight with each other. Clearly, though, there are those from both sides who resist the idea of sleeping with what they call the enemy. I call them the Taliban of their generation. Those who believe in the righteousness of their purity, who are willing to ride off into battle with their press cards or their USB goggles, at the point of their spears, or you can just call them extremists. Yet there are those from both new and the old media who believe in finding opportunities to work together, to gather the strength of both formats and discard the weaknesses. In the United States, we see some mainstream media long keep the tradition of paper and ink, dabbling in online and crowdsourcing experiments. In the Philippines, PCIJ, for one, believes in networking with those who have not just the resources, but the interest, the motivation, the skill, and the mojo to write, to talk, to seek, and to ask. We refer, of course, to that segment of new media called the bloggers. In the last 2 training sessions on covering the elections that we have traditionally held for mainstream journalists, we have already invited several bloggers. Why? Because the internet is infinite and limitless, and there is no end to how much you can discuss and pick apart a topic or issue that will only be given in 1.5 minutes on TV Patrol and 24 hours. We want to spur discussion, debate. We want Filipinos to ask questions and to seek answers. That was our job all along as reporters, and the internet provides a new medium for asking more questions and getting even more people to act them with us. Then there is also citizen journalism. PCIJ has launched a crowdsourcing experiment called Suri ng Kanila in the 5 poorest provinces of the country. We hope to empower ordinary people in these provinces to tell their story, and we hope to get not just the country, but the entire world to listen to their stories as well. What is the role of bloggers as new media? The best test for that is the coming elections, I think. Now more than ever, people online can make their presence felt and confront candidates who have, for the longest time, dazzled the public and dangled promises. Like it or not, many in mainstream media have begun to look at this profession as an ordinary job. Attend a press conference, ask a few cursory questions, and get your ticket punched by your editor. Time and again, we hear reporters say, hindi ko nagtrabaho yan, or pwede na ba yan, or pwede na yan. What we have begun to miss out in traditional media is the mojo of the blogger. What is that? It's simply the eagerness or the urge. I simply call it ego. The urge to make a difference. That was supposed to be our job, our goal, our motivation. Sometimes it takes someone from the outside to wake us up. At the very least, new media is there to wake us up from our continued slumber. But going beyond that, we should push the envelope, spur discussions on election issues that have long been sidelined by the glitz and glamour and the color of Philippine elections. Talk about money and campaign financing, issues that have long been the bane of many reporters that struggled to math 11 in college. Talk about the economy, network, ask, network, talk, network, write. For if full media can no longer ignore you, the candidates certainly cannot. We went to your website, Blogwatch, and you have an article of election spending by Noemi, as well as links and basic data on how much candidates can spend. How many reporters even know this? How many reporters even bother to ask? How many reporters even think that it's important? Better yet, also, an article on getting to know your new election machine, the precinct and optical scan. And there was even video. We must say that we wish mainstream media could do something like this as well. We think this is one of the better examples of citizen journalism. Of course, there are also some rough spots that need to be smoothed out as new media begins to work with the old. There always will be. But the point is that we need to recognize the fact that we need to work together, and that old media cannot reject the new media in the same way that the new cannot